morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 3rd. We are 11 days out. All the feels right now. I'm so excited. I'm in my bathing suit in my kitchen this morning because it is check-in day. So I'm gonna show you guys my check-in. But yesterday I had the best upper body session. I am still feeling the pump today. I don't know if you guys can see it, but honestly, I was able to work out with somebody who's very knowledgeable, and there was some constructive feedback, let's put it that way. And you know what, even though that was probably hard to take at 12 days out, just because emotionally you're not there, you want to be the greatest, it's just not realistic. We do not strive for perfect around here. We do not believe in perfect around here. So I was really blessed to be able to have that opportunity so that I could learn, not just learn to be a better athlete, but to also learn to be a better personal trainer for my team as well. So I'm sore. I'm feeling all the gains this morning. It's check-in time. We're 11 days out. So let's go and check out this check-in. So honestly, I am really happy with my check-in. Knowing that there is only one more check-in before show is obviously a little unsettling, just because I feel like these last 2 weeks have been the hardest when it comes to body image, and that's something that I really wanted to talk to you guys about today, because I knew that taking on this journey coaching myself was going to be a whole other mental beast. And I feel like I have done a really great job. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there was a couple of days where I struggled with body dysmorphia, where I would look in the mirror and not see the changes that, you know, my stats were telling me. And what I did was I reached out to somebody who I knew would be able to give me the right answer and to correct me and let me know that this is all totally in my head. And I would even bring it up in that way, like, I know I'm going through body dysmorphia right now, like, please help. And if you want to be successful during prep, you need to have good people to lean on. That is so important. And you know, these last couple of weeks, you just want to get to the package that you think that you're going to bring on stage. And even sometimes when you're not fully even sure what that's going to look like, you are still nervous that you're not going to be able to do it, right? You've come so far, and you know, all you can kind of see are the last bits that you have left to go. And this is just the reality of it, guys. Like, I don't want to lie to you and say that every day was easy and that there was absolutely no image issues, because I'm somebody who's recovered from that 100% fully. And even as somebody who can clearly recognize it, knows how to get through it, I still struggle with it. I'm still human, and that is the biggest thing that I want to remind you guys, is that being honest with yourself, whether you are, my breakfast is cooking up hard here, as you can hear, but no matter what journey you're on, whether it's lifestyle, whether it's prep, you need to be honest with yourself. And being honest with yourself does not mean that you're beating the shit out of yourself in your head, okay? Being honest with yourself is like, okay, I'm clearly feeling some negative emotions. These probably aren't right. I do a really good job of beating myself up. I need to reach out to somebody. And that's what it should literally look like, guys, because there's no reason why we should be going through these emotions alone. They're normal to have to process, but you need to recognize them and move on, right? Like, you don't need to recognize them, sit and stew, and put all this shit in your head, which is why as soon as I'm having a bad day with my body image, I tell people that I trust, not people who I know are gonna come back on me and be like, this is the best that you ever looked. I can't believe that you think these things. Because if it was that friggin' easy, guys, I wouldn't be saying this to you, okay? It's not that easy, and there's going to be hard days. So, all in all, be honest with yourself. Take the time to recognize when you're having bad thoughts in your head. Reach out to somebody who loves you. They love you for a reason, okay? There is absolutely no reason why we need to put ourselves through mental anguish on shit that's not even true. So that's my 2 cents for you guys. That is how you come out stronger, happier, and a more confident self, is by taking the time to recognize when you're maybe in the slumps and actually doing something about it to help pick yourself up. Because the thing is, guys, you're not always gonna be able to do that, everything on your own. I recognize that, and I'm not afraid to ask for help. Is it something that I'm great at yet? No, probably an area of communication that I can continue to still work on, but I'm honest about it, right? So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys when it comes to body image issues. Body image issues, body dysmorphia are things that we struggle with more than we recognize, okay? So sometimes we don't even know that it is body dysmorphia that we're feeling. Sometimes we just feel like we're a piece of shit, we look like shit. You guys can fill in the rest of the blanks, and it sounds super savage, but it's the reality of it, right? We're in the mirror, we're pinching, we're sad-faced, we are hiding ourselves in clothes, like all of these different things that at the end of the day, if you cannot love your body through each part of the journey, there will never be a point where you're going to be happy with it, okay? If I don't love my body where it is right now, and I love my body where it was when I started, I am not going to love my body at stage weight. I'm not going to be able to reverse at a stage weight and love my body either. There is no end goal there if you cannot be happy right now. So that's my little savage rant for you guys. Be honest with yourselves. Everybody goes through these things. It's totally normal, but it is super important for you to lean on someone else and make sure that you have a good support system when you're going on journeys, whether it be a coach, a family member, your spouse, a friend, just somebody who you can trust and you know is going to be in your corner. So if you feel like you're struggling and you literally just need somebody in your corner, please reach out to me, because I don't want anybody in the entire world to have to suffer if they do not need to, okay? And we are our biggest critics, and self-inflicted pain can sometimes feel really good, which is unfortunate that our minds work that way, but it's just the reality. And this was a super honest breakdown for you guys. So I hope that you gain some education from it. And like I said, if you don't have somebody, please reach out to me, because nobody should be going through this alone. So I'm just about to get some breakfast into me, and then I'm heading over to the gym. It is my 4th last leg day. Holy smokes. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna do switch it up today, because I did just do legs the other day, but luckily I got in good recovery yesterday, so I'm feeling good. We're gonna hit it up, and I will get some footage for you guys. So let's go get that workout on. All right, guys, so that was pretty much a full workout. I did note what I didn't get recorded for you. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really light right now, weight-wise, like moving my body. It feels different being at this weight. Of course, I've never been at this weight as an adult. And even too, like when I was around this weight, I was at such an unhealthy point in my life, and you know, I was doing everything the wrong way. I was into a really partying lifestyle, and I just wouldn't eat, and I just wasn't taking care of my body. So to be able to see myself at 116 pounds strong is really, really cool. But that's one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, is the importance of not looking at someone else's journey, especially a prep journey, and thinking that it's realistic to attain year round, or to think that you should look like the person on prep. So the thing is that bodybuilding is a tough sport. It's mentally taxing, I guess you would say, when it comes down to the pressure that you put on your central nervous system from training, to also just the mental anguish that it does to your, essentially your outlook, right? Because you are in a sport where you're competing to look the best. You want to have the least amount of jiggle. It's just, like, I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but it is pretty much just like unrealistic standards that you're trying to achieve for one day. So I don't want anybody to be like, damn, she's lost X amount of weight in this amount of time, I need to do that too. No, you do not, okay? So the thing is that prep is a beast, and it's going to make something look like it is ideal and what somebody should look like when it's not. I hope that that makes sense, because I think a lot of us, we're on Instagram, we see these shredded people and we're just like, shit, I want to look like that. Or they're using their pictures close to competition date. We're thinking that they're their pictures now, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it just gives this false sense of reality of what this person looks like all year round. So the thing is, guys, is that I still need to reverse out of this. I am not going to be this lean all year round, so I really need to enjoy this little bit that I will be super lean. And at the end of the day too, like, not doing this prep before, I didn't know where my weight was gonna come in. It really doesn't matter what my weight comes in, because it's not like I'm a fighter and I need to come into X amount of weight class here, which is great, because I truly have mad respect for the fighters. I can't imagine the pressure that they have trying to hit a number on the scale. Like, if that is not a mind fuck, I don't know what is, okay? So then the next thing that I just wanted to say was that because I don't have to hit a stage weight, the only reason why I'm tracking my weight right now, and I do not weigh myself every day, no flippin' way, is just because we want to see where my shape is going to come in and at what leanness. There is some science behind our weight and our body mass and everything like that, but I just don't think that it's a focal point. And I think that because there's so much science to it, we don't have enough education to dictate whether the number on the scale is good or bad. And that's just reality for 99% of people out there that are weighing themselves and being like, oh, I'm so good, the scale went down, or I'm shit because the scale went up, okay? Because there's so many reasons why the scale will vary. These last few days, it's gonna be really hard to get the weight off. It's those last few pounds, right? But I've been working really hard to make sure that I have good energy balance. As you guys can see, I feel like I still have good energy. And yeah, I've really tried to go about this the best and most sustainable way that you can in 16 weeks to make it happen. So I hope that that makes sense to you guys. But the biggest takeaway from this is, do not compare your journey to my journey or anybody else on prep, especially if you are just on if you're doing a lifestyle health journey as well, right? Like, you need to understand these are athletes going to extremes to be able to meet their athletic guidelines, and that's just not realistic on the day-to-day basis, guys. So I really just wanted to put that information out there, and just no matter where you are on your journey, I really want to make sure that if you are weighing yourself, you have somebody or something, so whether it's a coach or an app that can give you a little bit more insight, Happy Scale is a free app, I believe, that I know works well with just giving a little bit more insight onto what those numbers mean, because at the end of the day, like I said, everybody looks at them and they're like, okay, it's good, okay, it's bad. That's about all you really give yourself for feedback, and that's the kind of shit that creates a really unhealthy relationship with the scale, and that's the last thing that any of us need. And going back to what I said earlier about body image, I just think that life is really hard, and we don't need to make it harder on ourselves by getting in our head and feeding ourselves all this shit, straight up shit, okay? So just make sure that you are being honest with yourself, even when it's hard times. You are putting your best foot forward as long as you're not quitting, and just knowing that the scale doesn't dictate shit. And just because my weight is where it is right now, or just because I look as lean as I do right now, does not mean that it's realistic, sustainable, or something that you need to achieve, okay? So I hope that that gave you guys some insight, education, and inspiration that your journey is exactly where it should be. So now it's time to go get my tan on. We are really needing to make sure that this tan comes, because I got something I'm gonna tell you in tomorrow's vlog. Tomorrow we're going over all the dirty things, okay? All the dirty things about prep that you probably didn't have any ideas about. So I'm excited to feed you that information. So I'm gonna go get this tan in. I brought a protein shake with me. Always gotta make sure you're prepared after the session. And that's where we're at. Let's go, guys. Okay, we back from the tanning salon. Everything went great, got my tan in, and I just finished my last session of the year with my in-person client. And honestly, guys, I have to shout her out big time. I run the rest of my business online, but I train her in person because I love her dearly, and seeing her progress over the last year. So to just give you a quick background story, she went on a trip, her back buggered, and nobody could figure out what really had happened, and it just progressively got worse and worse, like so bad that she ended up having to use a cane, had to get her husband to help her put her socks on, and could not properly lift her arms over her head. And guys, I am not even kidding you, we have her, like she couldn't do the stairs, and she's doing step-ups all the way up to 45 seconds. Like, we worked our way from barely even being able to do one step to holding on to the side of the stair, to then, you know, 15 seconds turn to 20, turn to, you know, 25, and so on. And like, we're up to 45 seconds. She is using weights in her hand, and today at 63 years old, she completed her last session of 2020 with a 1 minute and 24 second plank. Like, if you are not shook over that, I don't know if you do planks, but that is a long amount of time to be planking, and to see somebody be rehabbed back to freedom, back to energy. Like, she is just so full of life, so full of energy. And this is my favorite part about being a personal trainer, is being able to see people love the life that they live, okay? So I had to give her that shout out. But back to today's episode and body image and not caring about what the scale says. Honestly, guys, we do this sport of bodybuilding because we love it. We know that there is some really weird attributes to it, and that there's a lot of sacrifices that need to be made. And even though there has been difficult and challenging times, do I regret it? Not at all. Do I think that I was mentally equipped to make it through this full battle? Absolutely. And I just wanted to really show you guys that no matter who you are still gonna have human moments. But it's all about being honest with yourself and really making sure that you use the tools that you've learned over the years of how to keep yourself strong in tough situations, or in situations where it's trying to be a straight mind bend for you. So that is going to conclude episode 4. So I hope that you guys enjoyed everything that you learned today. If you have any questions or you need somebody to lean on, make sure that you reach out to me. But if you liked this video, then I want you to please hit like, maybe even subscribe if you're feeling up to it. And I hear that there's a way that you can turn on post notifications, but I don't really know how to do it. I hear it looks like a bell, so hopefully you know how to do it and you want to get notified for the next one. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you next time.